Well, sometimes tactics work, sometimes they don't. This one seems to work. This one is called the Sear 4231, Sear being the part of the name of the tester, or at least the person who put it up. But the title of the tactic itself is called Seems to Work. The description in it says, a tactic I've tweaked from a number of others, used this briefly with Arsenal in 34-35 and won the league, FA Cup and Champions League. Left to join a poor Panathinaikos team and took us to third with little squad change. So it seems to work. We'll see how it works for our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with all that said, let's just dive in and see if it actually did work. Well, for our Liverpool squad, it definitely seemed to have worked. 96 points, 88 goals. It is not the tally that we're expecting. Goals usually are higher than points. However, 96 points is phenomenal. Aston Villa in fifth, though, 73 points, 78 goals. That needs to be worked on a little bit. Domestic Cups for Liverpool, out in the Carabao Cup semi-final in the second leg, 2-3 to Tottenham. And then out in the FA Cup semi-finals, 1-2 to Ipswich Town. Interesting. And Connor Chaplin was sent off in the 26th. How did that work? And unfortunately, a third semi-final bow out against Brighton in the Europa League. That is tough. At least they won the league, right? But squad-wise, they do have some green, which is nice to see. But 22 goals is tops for Nunez. McAllister with 19. Salah all the way down with 15. Assists 13 for Trent, 12 for Robertson. And then average rating is 721 for McAllister and Tsimikas. Now changing our sights to Aston Villa's domestic cups, out in the Carabao Cup fourth round to Tottenham again, 1-2. And then FA Cup fourth round, 0-1 to Bournemouth. However, they do pick up a trophy in the Europa Conference League in the final 3-0 against Atletico Pamplona. So overall, a fantastic trophy right there in the Conference League. However, I think everything else could be picked up quite a bit. Squad-wise, they have more green than usual, which is nice. 24 goals, though, for Ramsey. 13 for McGinn and Diaby. Assists 15 for Zaniolo. 10 for McGinn and Diaby as well. And then average rating, Jacob Ramsey with a 736. Liverpool's data hub, looking interesting. Their attacking side is a little bit down from where we expect. However, it's a little bit more spread out. Defensively pushed out in certain areas and completely squeezed in on others. And then goals per game, 2.32 overall. 0.5 conceded is pretty nice. 0.69 XG against. Aston Villa, yeah, they're showing some issues in the attacking side. The goals definitely are down. Defensively, same thing with Liverpool. Pushed out in shutouts. But the opposition passes per defensive action really squeezed in there, as are tackles. Goals per game, though, 2.05. One flat conceded is better than the usual. 1.19 XG against is about average. Premier League stats, 2.53 points per game is not bad for Liverpool. Aston Villa with 1.92. Most goals, Liverpool in first with 88. Not too far ahead of Tottenham, though, but 78 for Aston Villa. Fewest shots against, Liverpool in first with 223. Aston Villa in seventh, 352. Most possession, 52% for Liverpool, 51 for Aston Villa. Most dribbles made, Aston Villa making the list with 682, 673 for Liverpool. Best pass completion, 7th place Aston Villa with 88%. And most shots for Liverpool with 649, 583 for Aston Villa. But now, how did our championship side of Ipswich Town fare with this tactic? Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping since they took Panathinaikos up to third place with little squad change, Ipswich would do really well. They just didn't. 6th place, 80 points, 83 goals. Definitely needs to be brought up quite a bit. But they did make the playoffs. They lose out in the first round. Domestic cups, however, out in the Carabao Cup fourth round in penalties to West Ham. They beat Liverpool there. They get to the FA Cup final, but lose to Man City only 1-2. So overall championship, yeah, you definitely want to see them a lot higher than 6th place. They did make the playoffs at least. They just didn't do very well at all. Runners up in the FA Cup is pretty phenomenal though. And squad-wise, only 4 green to show for all of that. That is pretty crazy. Goals, 13 for Hurst, 10 for Chaplin. Assists, Wes Burns with 14. Leif Davis still there with 10, but Connor Chaplin with 11. Average rating, Leif Davis with a 7.20. Championship stats, 1.67 points per game. Most goals in 4th. Wow, with 85 goals though. Fewest shots against in 1st with 339. Most dribbles made in 3rd with 847. Most tackles won. They do make the list with 1030. And then most shots for in 2nd with 690. So the tactic itself. We start out with a sweeper, keeper, and defend. Fullbacks on the left and the right in attack. Central defenders in defend in the central spots. 2 DMs in support. 2 wingers in support on either side, an attacking midfielder in attack, and an advanced forward in attack up front. Balanced mentality, in possession, attacking with his fairly narrow, approach plays pass into space, overlap on the left and the right, passing directness is shorter, tempo is slightly higher, low crosses, shoot on sight, and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the fullbacks and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So, how did it do overall for our three teams? Unfortunately, I wouldn't say this is the best 4-2-3-1 that we've seen. Ipswich in sixth place. I mean, again, a save is a save is a save. They can differ from any time you do it. So, one save here in sixth place Ipswich could blow the roof off the championship and get first place by leaps and bounds. But in this case, in this save, it didn't seem to work greatly, at least compared to a lot of the other 4-2-3-1s that we've tried. But again, this was one that was used 10 years in the future from now with Arsenal in the 2034-35 season, and then went on to Panathinaikos. Who knows what their teams are like at this point, but sixth place Ipswich Town is not the greatest. Liverpool and Aston Villa. Liverpool make the list by a good margin, 96 points at the tops. The goals margin, though, is not the greatest. Aston Villa in fifth place with 73. Definitely could be brought up a little bit. And I say 88 is not the greatest, but I mean, it's obviously fantastic, but we've seen them with higher. This is all I'm saying with the attacking side. But this is definitely one you want to take a hands-on control with, get your own transfers in there, get your own match shouts during a match, training, medical staff, things like that, and see how much you can grow with it from there. But that's it for me, Sevian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.